Yo, what's good people? Welcome back to the channel. And the M140 project has been through some serious changes. Not just with the car, but with the people working on it too. What started as a simple street build has turned into something much more serious. The chassis has had major upgrades, the B58Xxhp engine is finally in, and today for the first time we're bringing it to life. We're not too far away now, so let's see how this beast is coming together.
Must be where that little Z4 was. Is that him? ECU? Where's he hiding? It's gotta be down there, isn't it? Or something. Oh, there they are. German! Huh? My man's living in an optical illusion. Yo! Jay! It's gotta be back on the main. Sorry lads, I don't know how long I'm dragging out this intro for, but can't find them. Yes! Have a look, boy. My M1Xxhp, I don't know. Got some news that I need to share with you about this car actually. Right, we'll just park here for now. Now honestly, this is not staged, you know what I mean? Cameraman was already here. Let's get, well firstly, let's have a look at this. Lovely. What you saying, Spoodin? All good, mate. German Auto Works? Man like Jay. What are you saying, broski?
That's all right?
No, not really, but I worked it out. Let me get some stuff out of the car. I've got a carbon prop shaft and a Zestec wheel, which I'm just going to leave here.
I was expecting you in a nice new M5. What's going on?
Mate, he's just baited me out. You might as well grab that, Jay. Lovely. Carbon.
This is Tom, by the way.
Respect, brother.
And this is my mum. She'll be looking after you
how you
today.
doing, man? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So guys, before I show you the source, of course, a quick cheeky plug. You know how it is. Listen, I ain't even gonna lie. Recently, I have completely fallen off my diet. I have been sick for about 8 weeks, completely wiped out. And now that I'm back on it, trying to get back into routine, it is so long. And on days like today where I've had to drive 2 hours, I've got to film all day, and then I've got to drive 2 hours back, eating proper meals isn't the easiest thing. That's where Y Food comes in, lads.
Full meal in a bottle, packed with 34 grams of protein, with 26 vitamins and minerals, all that good stuff. No sugar crashes, no bloating, and it actually keeps you full for 3 to 5 hours.
And you know what the maddest thing is? It actually tastes banging. There's no weird chalkiness, no weird aftertaste, just proper flavors. And if you're like me, constantly on the move, this makes life so much easier. Just grab one and keep it moving. So anyway, use my discount code LLF-YouTube for 10% off. Link will be in the description below. Now let's get back to the saucy stuff. Right, so guys, we are at German Auto Works, man like Jay. What are you telling me, brother? A lot of communication on the phone, but first time meeting Jay. A lot of people are probably wondering why the car's here. So what actually happened is there was an electrical fault with the car. So the previous engine that was put into the vehicle, it was throwing some codes. We didn't know what it was. Before we put the 3.4 in, we brought the car to you, which we sort of went on to doing a motorsport
wiring
loom, right?
loom.
And whilst he was doing the loom, we've just decided to just whack out a load of the work. So what's the idea with the motorsport loom then?
With these cars, you get a lot of additional wiring that you don't need once you strip it out like this. And also that can cause you problems down the line. We had like amplifiers still in the car with no speakers. So we were able to actually strip all of that wiring out. You get a benefit of weight saving, but also peace of mind that you've not got any straggly wires anywhere. And we can wrap it back up in a neat way, and it can run down just the driver's side of the car. Just nice and simple, tidying it all up. And then we decided we were going to put the engine in.
Let's get it in, mate.
But obviously, at that point, we already had the subframe down. So we thought, shall we upgrade it? As it's got an M2 front end, shall we upgrade it to an M2 subframe as well? Which we did. And I don't know how many other B58s are out there sitting on an M4 subframe.
The 1 Series are all very similar, even from the M140 down to a 1.16, right? Very similar underneath. So my worry is the power I'm trying to run, I need this to be as stable as possible. I don't want to be swinging left and right up the strip. Hopefully a bit more stability.
I would say so. We've got 2 additional mounting points that we actually, we welded a piece onto the car so that it could house those. And just generally, I think it's a stiffer design, but it's also lighter because it's made out of aluminium, not steel. So
it's a weight saving as well.
Weight saving, a better geometry.
I haven't even told you, look, guys, we're rear wheel drive now, so I made a big decision. This was originally meant to stay X drive, but for the weight saving, obviously we're doing so much weight saving on the car, to put an X drive kit in, I was told at the time that it was around 100 to 120 kilos extra. I think the rule is every 45 kilo is 1/10 of a second. So 100 kilos is like, bro, when you're trying to do a 7, that's 2/10. And on top of that, if you look at the fastest drag cars, they're all rear wheel drive anyway. So that was one of the reasons why we say rear wheel drive. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because this car's kind of permanently rear wheel for now, isn't it? Now because of the subframe.
Yeah, so running the M4's front subframe, obviously they never had that as an X-Drive. So basically you're committed now.
So with the M2 subframe, we've got the M2 hubs as well?
Yes, new hubs, new suspension arms. The car's going to be doing some serious speed, so we thought we'd get some proper racing brakes on there.
What are the size of the discs? So they're 6-pot calipers, right?
Yeah, they're 365mm discs.
365.
The actual caliper design is much better. So you can get way more performance even with a smaller disc.
Yeah.
Obviously, the smaller the disc, there's less weight there as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a weight saving?
Yeah, there's all, the caliper is much lighter. You'll see later when we pick up all the parts I've put on the pallet.
They're floating as well, they're two-piece as well.
Proper, floating discs.
So a reason why I wanted to upgrade the brakes is because I have seen some of these cars on the drag strip trapping 170, 180, not being able to brake. So I don't want to take no risks, man. I want to fucking stop at the end of the strip, man. There's loads more, isn't there? So even with the engine, well, let's have a look at the engine. So I haven't even seen it yet. Yeah, so my 3.4's in there. Guys, check it, man. Engine from Texas, fucking in the car. This is like a one of one. I don't think anyone in the country, it's not a 3.4, it's a 3.35, but it's basically a 3.4.
I think once all the exhausts and the turbos on it and everything like that, it's gonna sound like a beast. But at the moment, you'd say it's probably a bit tame with the standard turbo and everything. But that's the way you want it because you want to run the engine in properly. So. We've gone for just putting the standard stuff on, the car can run it in, and then it's going to get, obviously, the big boy stuff.
We've got the RK inlet manifold, so this is their race version. The core's much thicker. Obviously, we need to keep this car nice and cool. The full catalogue, I mean, pistons, rods, the stroker kit. It's got a stage 3 head, port and polished, valves, valve springs, retainers. It has got upgraded camshafts as well, B-spec, Kelfords.
The air filter was kind of, had a bit of oil on it, and that was causing it to smoke. So obviously at first I was running it and it was smoking. I was going, oh no, that. But
so the rocker cover's fine.
Rocker cover's fine. It was just the fact that it had oil on the air filter, so we sorted that. The other thing we had as well with the wiring loom is we actually inputted all the wiring for a battery isolator.
Okay.
So safety is obviously key with this kind of thing. Yeah. So at the push of a button, you can kill the car.
Just to give you an example, not that it's funny, there was a G80 that ran, it's the same car that the brakes wouldn't work either. That car trapped around 180, the throttle got stuck and he continued to accelerate to around 205 miles per hour and then crashed into a tree. So that's where if you had a safety cut-off switch, that's what you need it for. That guy was turning his car off and it kept turning back on.
Yeah, see.
At 180 plus.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I know.
What would we guess the weight is? Man, I'm screwing. I so badly want to weigh this car.
I put it in the 1300s. I'm gonna go with like 1390 because my 140i is 1450, and sorry, my 135i is 1450, and I haven't got no carbon, nothing. Right. So the doors alone are 30 kilos each. So 60 kilos there. Before you know it, I think you're definitely going to be in the 1390s, 1380s, something like that.
What are we saying a normal door weighs?
So normal door is 30 kilos.
And these doors, what, 5 kilos?
These,
Is that 30 kilos with the glass?
Yes.
Let's just call it 20 kilos to be safe on each door.
20 kilos on the doors,
bonnet, what's that, 5, 10?
Yeah, I think, this is probably about 7 kilos at the moment.
Okay, so...
The roof, you probably would have saved about 5 there.
It was 10. They did the,
okay, 10.
It was 10 kilos. The boot?
Yeah, the boot actually, to be fair, I forgot about the boot. My friend Lee's car is 1350. And that was with a roll cage in it. That's the wide body one. Right. That was with a roll cage in it. So yeah.
And what extra has he got in that? Sorry. What
he's got
been stripped,
roll cage. He's got metal bonnet and metal boot lid, but he's got carbon doors. But then a lot of the bodywork's been cut out and it's fiberglass, so like all the front end's fiberglass. Right. Well, I'm going to switch it up. All right. I'm going to go 1350. 1350. That's my guess.
Without cage.
Without a cage.
Without a cage, okay. I reckon we may scrape it into the 13s.
Yeah.
With a cage.
I don't want to be wrong. I might have to go down a bit more now.
Well, if you're saying that other car's 1350 with a cage, and like you're saying, so he's got fiberglass, because these parts are pretty light anyway, aren't they? But then I put the rear arches on as well.
And the subframe's heavier. Yeah. In this right now than the M1. But then the front
What subframe's on that one?
He's got M4 all round.
Do you want to... I think that guy needs to...
No, I think he's all good. Okay. I think he's all good. But okay, all right. Final guess, 1320.
1320?
Yeah,
Wow.
final guess. This is where everyone's going to be like, he don't know what the fuck he's chatting
So what are you
about.
saying? With the cage 1370, yeah?
Yeah, I
Oh,
reckon
mate,
so.
hope
I reckon
so.
so. You'll be happy with
Hope
that,
so.
right?
I'll be more than happy.
Yeah. It's been a blur the last couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie. It's just been like, get the car done, get the car done, get the car done.
You've took all of the sound deadening out of the car as well.
Yeah. So you can see where it all used to be.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
I spent so much money on the interior. You're like almost borderline. Just get it out. It's probably gonna have to come out anyway.
I think so.
I think it's gonna.
I think so.
Don't, man. I'm fucking pissed. If I've got to remove this, I'm gonna be pissed, man. So yeah, we've got the carbon prop shaft. I don't know how much weight saving that is, but
Yeah, that'll be a decent couple of kilos. Move it
oh,
over
is this
for
what
the
was
light.
come out?
Yeah.
Holy shit, mate. We're into the 12s, mate.
Got our wiring here, so that's all the just
What,
in.
from the motor?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit. What's that like? 10, 15?
I think so. Yeah.
I can barely hold it.
Yeah. That's all of the sound deadening.
5 to 10.
Yeah.
Easy.
The OEM calipers are pretty heavy.
What would you estimate here? There's a good 40, 50 kilos maybe?
Yeah, I think so. So there's 20 there.
Yeah.
You could say 5 there, 25. That there, I'd say is probably at least 10.
At least, yeah.
35. That's probably another 5 kilos, that's 40.
40 to 50 kilos.
I think so.
Easy.
This was the culprit for the Valvetronic.
Okay, right. So when we did the conversion with Salvage Nation, I actually bought a crash car which had rolled. There was an electrical fault when we installed the B58. So this, you're saying, was.
Yeah.
Because I changed the ECU.
Bro, it was hard to
Fucking
find
bitch.
it. So ECU was changed, the motor was changed, still kept getting this fault. And I took the wiring off the car, I checked it, you know, pin to pin, and it was all fine.
Right.
So then I was like, I'm just gonna order another loom and put it in. Literally, as soon as I put the new loom in, it
Loom
worked
for
straight
what
away.
is this, for the van or for the Valvetronic?
This is the Valvetronic, yeah. So there's the ECU plug there, and then that goes into the motor. And what I actually think it is that the pins inside here, they've opened up. So they're not actually contacting the pins.
Fault's gone.
Yeah, fault's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wicked.
and I'm happy about that because I'm not gonna lie, I was stressing. I was there like, I need to get this fault gone because my ADHD was just working overdrive. So I need to be the one that fixes this.
Yeah. Just sounds the same, like you said.
Yeah.
So you had to change all the injectors as well, didn't we? Brand new injectors. We didn't have to change them, but just for safety, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you've gone about it the right way. You know, there's no point in not putting new injectors in there when it's such a built engine.
What's this bit here? That arm.
That's the steering column.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that there.
Yeah, because usually there's a plate on here,
Right.
and there's a cover over here.
Okay.
But because the manifold is so large, the
Right.
plate can't run there anymore at the back.
Right.
We've obviously got the M4 steering rack in there as now.
Yeah. Say that.
M4 steering rack in there. And if you feel the car, you can feel there's a little bit more vibration through it, and that's just because of those engine mounts that we've put in. Whereas now,
But yeah, we're going to get the cage put in, and then after we do the cage, then we're going to have the turbo kit installed. So yeah, that's when things will get exciting. But yeah, one big decision I made, as I mentioned at the beginning, is we're staying rear-wheel drive, so we're not going X-drive anymore. There was a few reasons why we've decided that. Main one being that Tom, with his X-drive M140 versus a customer rear-wheel drive M140, he was cutting quicker 60 foots in the rear-wheel drive car. I think over time the X-drive may have gone quicker, but ultimately, as of now, the rear-wheel drive car is cutting a quicker 60 foot. You've got a weight saving, quicker 60 foot. You know, even Marky, you guys know Marky. Remember Marky, I filmed his car a few times. He's done a 8.9, like he's absolutely flying. So rear-wheel drive, I know it's an M140, but I think correct wheel and tyre, doing a proper suspension setup. Oh, brace as well. Some bling, mate.
this is the same sort of chassis as the M stuff. So
Yeah.
literally we just put riv nuts in there.
Yeah.
And then like we can run that like that, and then we can run the back one as well.
Problem with this is going to be turbo. It's going to be here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you
So
set
it might
a
not
coolant,
work.
we may not be able to. We'll see though. We've got the back braces. Can we get the braces on now? They can go on, right?
The back braces definitely will fit, which is good because that's actually the one that really stiffens it up. This is more just for looks. Right into the top of the shocks, and then also right in the middle where the windscreen is. And this is usually found on an M car, but we can actually retrofit it to your car. Yeah, so we can see.
Where are the mounting points? Are they under here? Or?
Yeah, so they're under there. You might be able to, if you look up there, you can just see them. Put the new undersill on it. What you get with these arms is the adjustability of camber. Obviously you can do camber on the top mounts, but only so far. Whereas this can give you more camber, which is going to give you a better track. You can easily adjust your caster as well. That can help with how, when the car actually lifts up, when it squats down, you can change the caster levels there. The other thing as well is you've got the misalignment spacers on here. What happens is when you lower a car, where the arms would have sat flat, they now like that, because the car almost lowers down, but the wheels are in the same place.
Okay.
So that kind of ruins the geometry. Right, it's all worked out from the factory. Right. Whereas these spacers, they move the arms back down again, and then the geometry becomes like the same as what it was at factory. And that's where they've designed it to be the best.
So these are parts from an M2, right?
Yeah, that's it. So with the M2 front end, these parts, they don't actually fit onto a sort of M140 subframe. Whereas now, because we've got the M2 subframe, we could utilise all of the M2 parts. Now it's fitted strong and it's solid, so that bumper isn't going to go anywhere. We've used all of the M2 parts. We've got an anti-roll bar to go on, so it's not on there at the moment. Obviously the car's just going for a roll cage. When it comes back, we can have an option of an adjustable roll bar, which we can take off of the BMW Motorsport series, and they offer an adjustable roll bar. And the same at the back, so all of the stuff you see here at the front, you're also going to get that on the back. All the SPL arms, we've got all here already. By the time you're done with the roll cage, we would have already built up that rear subframe, and it would be a case of drop it down, put the new one in. It's not going to sit here for months.
And that's a wrap for this one, people. As you can see, this is a huge project, and now she's off for the next big step, a full drag cage install, because safety is key. We're not far off now. Turbo kit will be next, plus a load of other goodies I can't wait to show you. And for those of you that might be a bit annoyed that I'm staying rear wheel drive, don't worry, I've got something pretty sick coming soon, so stay locked in for that. As always, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and of course hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Big things coming. See you in the next one.
Yo, what's a right or a left turn? Lamborghini made the heads turn. Enough fuel for the next journey. Man's wheels spinning, got the heads turning. Exhaust smoke like a fire burning. Just bought a bimmer, man's buying German. Halfway I want, didn't buy a permit. Wanna join the team, then buy a jersey. Full tank full of gas lead. We on